If you do not feel safe, you are not going to be able to take action. The body does not care that it's your soul's purpose. And I felt so unworthy that I actually started removing followers. How do you train your body to feel safe? You practice feeling safe. If you continue to self-sabotage, it's a choice. Hello, Earth Angels, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Academy. It is your host, Kristen, and I am so excited to be here. If you're new to Alignment Academy, welcome. It's a school for your soul to grow and evolve. We talk about all things spirituality, entrepreneurship, personal growth, inner child healing, money, all that good stuff. And the reason we do is because it's all tied into one, right? In order to grow, either in your business or your career or your life, you have to do inner work. You have to heal. You have to unbecome what the world told you to become so you can reach that highest timeline. And so that's really what we're doing here. We are growing, we're evolving, we're doing all the things. And yeah, I'm just super excited to be here with you. I'm super excited to help you guys grow and evolve and do all the things. Now, when I was picking today's topic, I was really thinking, like, I talk about inner child healing till the cows come home. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And the reason is it's because when I really look back at my life, it's given me every single thing that I desire, right? Like, I used to have the belief that I had to have a corporate job. And then, but in doing inner child healing, I was able to quit my corporate job. And then, I was like, oh my God, I'm not worthy of good friendships. And by doing inner child healing, I was able to attract better friendships. It helped me heal from my breakup. It helped me heal my father wound. It helped me heal everything. And even though that you guys understand that I love inner child work and nervous system regulation, which is inner child work, like inner child work is a form of nervous system regulation, I realized that I've never really broken down why it really works, and helping you guys understand why regulating your nervous system is the first step to building a life that you desire. When I was thinking about today's topic, I was like, what is a question or a problem that most people tell me in the DMs? And the biggest thing I see is, hey, I want this big life. I want to have better relationships, build this business, show up online, not care what other people think. I want to do the thing, but I can't do it. I procrastinate. I am a perfectionist. I feel like I'm lazy, even though I know I'm not. Like, when it comes to doing the thing, I just can't fucking do it. And at the root, this is a nervous system issue. And I don't really think that anybody is talking about this like this, because most coaches out there, they're like, just do it. Just quit the job, jump off the cliff, do it. And the thing is I never really ever give that advice. I never think that you should just quit your job before you're ready. You should do all these big things, because I am a huge believer in pacing yourself and nervous system capacity and being able to hold what you desire. Because the truth is you don't have the life that you desire. You have the life that you feel comfortable taking actions for, right? I'm going to say that again. You don't have the life and you don't take the actions you desire. You take the actions and you have the life that you feel comfortable with and that you feel safe to take. That's what we're really going to get into today, is nervous system regulation, but to be even more specific is safety work, because that is the root of my work. If you don't know my brand, then we talk a lot about inner child work, but the specific inner child work that I teach is called heart work, which is really safety work, which is rooted in creating safety in the body so that the body can actually heal. If you are procrastinating, if you are struggling with perfectionism, if you are struggling with imposter syndrome and you're really trying to take action and you're trying to show up every day and you just feel like you can't do it, let's talk about it, okay? And in order for me to explain this, I'm going to bring out my handy dandy chart. I've told you guys about this a lot in master classes, and if you've taken any of my courses, I always bring this up because it's the basis of my work. Something that we all learned probably in 4th or 5th grade, and I'm going to put it on the screen right here. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. Basically, the basis of this chart is that the needs at the bottom are the needs that you need before you get to the top, right? So you need to have these basic needs met before you get to, relationships. And then you go a little higher, confidence, then, get to the highest, which is self-realization and becoming all that one can become, right? Fulfilling your soul's destiny, fulfilling your soul's purpose. Okay. So in today's day and age, every single coach, every single person, they are all selling up here, right? They're all selling becoming the most that you can become. Work with me and I will help you be the most that you can be. I will help you follow your purpose. I will help you make 100K months, whatever the promise is. The reason so many coaches do not get results, or they don't a lot of coaches are also not sharing the results that they don't get. But a lot of the reason that a lot of people sign up for coaching programs, maybe you've been one of them, and you didn't get the results that you were promised, is because they're not bringing nervous system into the mix. And the thing is that if you do not feel safe, you are not going to be able to take action. Feeling safe in the body is the prerequisite for taking any action. You will self-sabotage, and the body does not care if you really want it. The body does not care that it's your soul's purpose. The body does not care that you signed up for a program to make this happen. If the body does not feel safe, it will self-sabotage. The brain is so smart that it will make sure that you do everything but that thing, because the nervous system's only job is to keep you safe, right? Let's talk about it. I'm going to make a quick assumption about you if you listen to Alignment Academy, the podcast, that ever since you were little, you just had this deep feeling that you were meant for big things in this world. You weren't here to be ordinary, but you were here to be a mover and a shaker. Hi, I'm Kristen, and same. Except for years, I was self-sabotaging, because even though I felt in my soul that I was here to do extremely big things, I could not stop procrastinating, self-sabotaging, feeling massive amounts of imposter syndrome, and don't forget, getting triggered as fuck every single day of my life. And honestly, I didn't know what to do. And then I found inner work. I found energy healing. I found all of the modalities that I still use today. The spiritual tools that I use feel like I found a hack to this universe. Like, the rules don't apply to me because I know how to shift my vibration. I know how to reprogram my subconscious mind. I know how to give myself any beliefs that I want to believe about the world, like money comes easy to me and the rules don't apply to me and I don't need a real job. These are all just beliefs that I believe about myself. If you're similar to me, you know you have a big mission, but you know it's also time to get out of your own way and heal your blocks for good so you can actually just take action on your mission. This is why I created Alignment Academy, the membership. Inside this membership, you are going to get everything from live coaching sessions with me monthly, all of my best-selling heart work meditations and hypnosises. You're going to get all of my energy healing activations to do energy work on yourself anytime you want. Not to mention, as soon as you enroll, you get a library of 9 past masterclasses and 8 on-demand meditations. But the very best part is the people in the community. This is some of the most heart-centered, amazing humans I've ever come in contact with. Honestly, people have made friends in this group. They've met up in person in this group. It's the place to be. This is seriously the only space on the internet that weaves quantum manifestation, inner work, and business to help you quantum leap in your soul's growth and your business growth. If you're serious about healing, getting out of your own way, and taking massive action this year, then join with the link below. See you inside. Down here is basic needs and safety. At the very bottom, that's where you want to focus. If you are realizing that you procrastinate, that you are not following through on your word, that you really want this thing, but for months and maybe even years, like you've said you wanted to build a business, but you haven't, odds are you have a very dysregulated nervous system around this thing. And I'll give you an example, right? Let's say that you really want to build an Instagram account, but every single time when you think about building an Instagram account, you actually think of all the people that are going to judge you, and it makes you feel really triggered and disliked. And that actually came from a time in middle school where you shared a thought or something that was really important to you and you got kicked out of a friend group or someone made fun of you, right? So now you're trying to show up on social media as a maybe 25, 35-year-old, and you can't do it because it's triggering this wound from middle school, right? So your body is getting triggered and feeling really unsafe. And the trigger is basically saying, remember that threat when you were in 4th grade or whatever in middle school? Like, that's going to happen again. And so this is unconscious, right? This is all unconscious. This is not conscious behavior. This is very unconscious. And so instead of you showing up on your Instagram, you're going to scroll, you're going to work on your website for 3 years, you're going to do all these other things other than just post the Instagram, which takes actually 20 minutes. You know what I mean? That's kind of what the nervous system does. You know, another example is, let's say you want to get a new job, but you fear change because change was really chaotic when you were younger because you had a very unstable childhood. So every time you go to apply for new jobs, because you really fear change, you're just going to like dilly dally. You're going to, fill out half the application and then never turn it in. It's like when you start to do something, but you don't fully follow through on it because you want to self-sabotage. And I'll give you a personal example of like when things feel unsafe, you will self-sabotage. I remember when I hit, my numbers on Instagram have like kind of gone up and down, but I remember when I hit 50,000 followers, it felt so unsafe and I felt so unworthy that I actually started removing followers. This is a story I've never told because it's actually crazy. And when I really looked at it, when I was asking myself like, oh my God, I don't want this many followers. I don't want this many followers. And then I started journaling and doing inner work around it. It was because I felt unsafe having that much success because I didn't feel worthy of it. And I didn't feel worthy of it because it didn't feel like I worked hard enough for it. Because it was like, I had a reel that like brought me from like 30K to 50K, I think. Like I grew a lot from like 30K to 50K. It was something like that. I don't remember the numbers honestly, but something like that. And it felt really unsafe to like grow that quickly because I was like, oh my God, I should be bigger. I should be making more money. I don't deserve this. I'm not there yet. And so I literally started removing followers. And then I had to stop and be like, Kristen, what are you doing? Like, you just feel unsafe right now. Sit with it. And I went in and I did my nervous system regulation. I was able to like kind of move through those emotions. And I did some worthiness work, opening my heart and like tapping into worthiness until I could really hold that number. And holding that number actually took a couple of weeks. It took maybe even a month of like, okay, it's okay to have more followers. Like it's okay that more eyes are on you because, more followers meant more good stuff, but also more bad stuff, more people looking at my page, more people thinking I'm a fraud, more people, whatever. Right. And so it was like this whole nervous system thing. And I think that that's an interesting story only because it shows how we will self-sabotage on things that we actually truly want, that we consciously are saying we want, but we don't feel safe having. And there's been other times too where, I've said I wanted new friends, but then when it actually comes down to like going to that event that it would make me uncomfortable, I don't actually go because I don't feel safe being in relationship with people. I've even seen this in some of my clients where sometimes like, in the retreat space, people say they're like, oh my God, my relationships aren't good. I'm not really close to people in my life. But then in the retreat space, they're in their room the whole time, or they like seclude themselves or something. And, I've had to, work through this with people at retreats of like, you're saying you want deeper relationships, but you're actually doing the thing that's actually going to seclude you so that you don't have deeper relationships. And so it's funny how we will self-sabotage and we'll say we want things, but until we actually take the time to do the safety work and train our nervous system to feel safe, we are not going to get that thing. And that's really where I want to bring this of how do we create more safety in our body? Okay. So this is the entire work that we do in Inner Work Alchemy and in my Heart Work program. If you're enjoying this episode, then I have a quick offer for you. I would love to gift you my free meditation, Release Anxiety and Trust the Universe. And this meditation has been so pivotal for me when I was going through my rock bottom or when I'm going through a moment of uncertainty in my life. And I would love for you to try this meditation out absolutely free. All you have to do is rate the podcast 5 stars, go follow my podcast Instagram page at Alignment Academy Pod on Instagram, and then send me a screenshot of your 5-star rating or review, and I will send you the meditation, no strings attached. I can't wait for you to try it out. And now back to the episode. Emotions are memorized, meaning that the lack you feel around money, it's memorized. Maybe you feel really abundant with money, that's also memorized. Maybe you feel like a really lucky person, that's memorized. Maybe you feel like you never have enough. Maybe you feel like you're always running out of time. Maybe you feel like people always love you. Maybe you feel really hot when you walk into bars. All of these emotions are memorized. They're just memorized in our body. So a lot like positive and negative emotions can be memorized, lack of safety and safety can also be memorized too. And so what typically happens is we usually have some inner child wounds in childhood that create a dysregulated nervous system. So a regulated nervous system is when you feel peace, you feel calm, you feel just like super regulated. Like if you're feeling chill, you're regulated, right? And then we also have our nervous system that is fight or flight, which is really activated. And this is when we get really anxious, we feel rushed or overwhelmed, we feel like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out, I need to figure this out. Like that's really anxious, that's fight or flight. You want to control. And then we also have freeze. And our nervous system in freeze, it's basically shut down. You feel numb, you feel unmotivated, you feel exhausted, you feel like I can't go forward, I can't go back. And based on what kind of trauma we had and the people that were around us, all of our nervous systems are going to react differently to different triggers. You know, some people are going to shut down when they feel have conflict. Some people are going to fight when they feel conflict. That's like anxious and avoidant, right? Like all of these kind of merge into each other. Now, when it comes to memorizing safety in the body, your nervous system has maybe memorized freeze or it's memorized fight or flight, but now the work is to memorize what feeling safe in your body feels like, so that even in these technically dysregulating things that you're doing, they're not actually dysregulating, right? Like you're not actually needing to run or fight or hide. It's just your body had a perceived threat in the past, which is now telling the body that it's unsafe to take this action. So we really need to train our body to feel safe. How do we train our body to feel safe? Well, how do you train your muscles to get stronger? You go to the gym. How do you get better at soccer? You play soccer. How do you train your body to feel safe? You practice feeling safe. You literally have to go inside, sit with yourself, anchor the feeling of safety and say, okay, I'm going to practice this feeling. I'm going to pull this feeling up in my heart and I'm going to feel it. And that's where heart work comes in too. The beautiful thing about heart work is I teach people how to open their heart. And when you open your heart, you think about it. When you're having a heart to heart, you're not feeling like triggered. You're not feeling like a threat. You're not feeling like freeze. You are feeling grounded, you're feeling connected, you're feeling creative, you're feeling like in flow. And as soon as you bring energy into your heart, it signals to the whole body, I'm safe. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to create. I'm ready to take action because I feel safe. I feel safe inside. And so that's why my entire work, even with inner child work, we start with the heart work. We start with opening the heart and anchoring safety into the body and practicing feeling safe. Because even when you're healing your inner child, do you think that you're going to be able to go heal your childhood trauma if your body doesn't feel safe? Heck no. Your body's not going to want to go heal and like look at that traumatic thing that you've been trying to avoid for 20, 30 plus years of your life, right? Like that's just not going to happen. And so when we train our body to feel safe, number one, we're actually able to go heal our trauma. Number one. After we go heal the trauma, now we're not operating from that dysregulated state, right? Like let's say you had the trigger around posting online. Okay, now we found that the trigger was actually because you got made fun of in fourth grade. Okay, now let's go do the inner child healing around fourth grade you. Okay, now you feel worthy. Now you feel safe. Okay, now from that space, that regulated space, this is the space you go take action from. Right? You don't do the meditation and then go wait until you're dysregulated again and then try to take action again. From this regulated state, you take the action that you were scared to take. And you also pace yourself. You're not going to take an action so big that it's going to dysregulate you. You're going to take an action that feels like on your edge. And when I tell my clients about the edge, it's like somewhere like, this is really hard, but I can do it. This is really hard. It's a little scary, but I can do it, right? That's why you're not taking action. Your body doesn't feel safe. And so my caveat to you now is here. Now this information is dangerous to you because guess what? Now that you know why you're self-sabotaging, if you continue to self-sabotage, it's a choice. That's the truth. It's a choice. If you continue to self-sabotage, you are choosing it. And so my question for you, my ask for you, my intention for you is for you to actually heal. Once and for all. You can't bypass your nervous system with your brain and your mindset. That's why this deeper level of healing is getting into the body and anchoring safety into the body. And so if you are someone who thinks that they're meant for big things, if you think that you're meant to have a huge business, help a lot of people, work with clients, prove it. Prove it by actually doing the inner work to heal and actually healing. I would love to have you inside of Alignment Academy. That's my membership where it starts to teach heart work. It doesn't go all the way in like in inner work alchemy, but like if you're wanting to start inner child healing, Honestly, Alignment Academy is perfect to start. There's an inner child masterclass. There's an inner child meditations in there. There's lots of energy healing to regulate your nervous system. And there's lots of trainings around nervous system too. So that's a really good place to start. I mean, you can also regulate your nervous system in other ways. Like you can use breath work. You can use cold plunges. You can use EFT tapping. You can use inner child work. You can use box breathing. Like there's so many ways to regulate your nervous system. But at the end of the day, you have to find the way that works for you and then actually fucking do it. And then after you do it, you have to find a framework where you're actually taking action towards your dreams. And so if you have been procrastinating, not taking action, now you know why. Now that you have the information, it's your job to go do something with it. It's your job to actually go and do the thing that you actually want to do from that soul level. I think that's a good place to end today. Just a little mini masterclass in your nervous system. Nothing too heavy, just, a little fizz for your brain to chew on. So that didn't really make sense, but you guys get it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you want more episodes like this where I kind of deep dive into a topic, then let me know, because I know I've been doing a lot of other types of episodes. I've been doing a lot of interviews, a lot of co-host episodes, which I love, but I love doing these solo episodes too. If you guys want to join Alignment Academy, the membership, then feel free to join it. It's below on all the links, and I hope to see you inside. I'll see you next week on another episode. And until then, go take your action and regulate your nervous system and do something that your future self will be proud of. Okay? I love you. Bye.